Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. This week's Torah portion tells the story about the birth of the twin brothers Jacob and Esav. And while Esav was the firstborn, Jacob comes out grasping the heel of his brother, and that's why he's called Yaakov, because Yaakov means heel, because he wanted to be the firstborn. And Jacob follows the righteous path of his father and mother and his grandparents, Isaac, Rebekah, Abraham, and Sarah, while Esav goes off to become a hunter, a man of the field, a man of violence. And then the day comes when Esav comes home from the field, and he's tired, he's exhausted, he's famished, he's hungry, and his brother Jacob is making red lentil soup. And he says, pour down some of that hot red stuff, because I am exhausted. And at that point, Jacob says to Esav, I will give you the red lentil soup if you give me your birthright. And he sells the birthright to Jacob, and the Torah says he ate and he drank and he left the home and he disgraced the birthright by selling it. And the question is, amongst many questions on this story, why does it say he disgraced the birthright after he ate and drank and left the house? Seemingly he disgraced it at the moment he sold it. And our rabbis say that sometimes a person gets caught up in the momentary passion. They lose themselves. Esav is famished. He's starved. He says, give me that hot red stuff. And maybe we can't blame them for making an impulsive bad decision. But the question is, after they've done what they've done, do they then look back and say, that was a mistake. Let me learn from it. Let me grow. Let me regret what I've done and not repeat it? Or do they double down and say, it was meaningless, who cares? Esav's test of character was after he left the home. He went on to disgrace it. He belittled the birthright. He said it was meaningless. He couldn't care less about it. That's what defined his character and his essence. So much so that he and his descendants are called till this day Edomites. Why? Because Edom means red, because he said, pour that red stuff, that red soup down my throat. And he's named by that momentary interaction because it's a snapshot of who Esav was. Each and every one of us, may we be blessed with long lives till 120. But in one moment, in one instance, you could discern the character, the essence, the identity of a person. It doesn't take a whole lifetime. A short clip defines who you are. Are you a person like Esav, of your passions, of your lusts, of your desires, of your impulses, of your momentary gains without any recognition of the long-term perspective of life? Or are you like Jacob, that you live your life for a higher calling, for a higher purpose, for a higher mission? Jacob and Esav are the contrast. One carries the legacy of his parents and grandparents and all of his descendants till today, the 12 tribes of Israel who emerged from Jacob. And one is Esav, who goes off into oblivion. And I think about this in light of the tragic murder of Rabbi Tzvi Kagan, the Chabad rabbi in Dubai. There is a 55-second video clip that has been going around the internet. Someone caught this video of him. You see, Rabbi Kagan ran the kosher store in Dubai. And when Jews would come in who hadn't put on tefillin, he would invite them into the back to put on tefillin with them. And you see in this 55-second clip, less than a minute, that someone snapped, of him with his apron, obviously working the store in the back. And he's wrapping tefillin with a Jew, with a kippah, and saying the blessing with him, and the Shema, and teaching him how to put on tefillin. When suddenly another Jew walks in, and he interrupts the putting on tefillin to shake his hand and give him a big beer hug with so much love and joy on his face as Jewish music is blaring in the background of the store. And then he says, come, let me put on tefillin with you. And simultaneously, as one Jew is putting on tefillin, he starts wrapping tefillin with a second Jew. People have asked me, did you know Rabbi Kogan? And I said, no, I don't know him. Although Dini's classmate is his mother-in-law. And so it hit very close to home for Dini and her friends in her class. However, from that 55-second video, I can tell you everything I need to know about him. He was happy, he was loving, he was outgoing, he was concerned for his fellow Jew. It takes a moment to identify the essence of a person. That moment, he had no idea that this video would be circulating the internet today. Tragically, he didn't know. But in that moment, he revealed his true essence. And although he was tragically murdered, his life and his legacy will live on, just like Jacob's did. And those murderous thugs who killed him in cold blood, they will die a nameless death. They will go into oblivion, into the dustbin of history with all the evil and wicked people of the world. But Jacob's descendants live on until this day. Matter of fact, on the very day of his funeral, in Odessa, Ukraine, the Chabad rabbi shared that there were two Jews who were getting closer to Judaism. One was 39 and one was 74 years old. And they decided that they wanted to have a Brit Milah, circumcision, at that age because they were never given one as a child. And on the day of Tzvi Kogan's funeral, in Odessa, Ukraine, a 39-year-old man and a 74-year-old man underwent Brit Milah, circumcision, as adults. And when it came to give them their Jewish name, they chose the name Tzvi to carry on his life and his legacy and his mission. Let us live with a higher purpose, with a meaning. And even if in the moment we get lost and we make a negative decision, we get caught up in the momentary desires of life, let us awaken from that. Unlike Esav, who disgraced the birthright even after, without any remorse, without any regret, without any reflection. Let us own the mistakes we make. Let us reflect and constantly and continuously strive to climb higher and higher. Have a wonderful day.